Hi, and welcome back to our third installment of Flipped Learning, Spanish Edition, Spelling Changes in the Present Tense. We've talked about the present tense in general with some irregulars. We've talked about boot verbs in the present tense. And now we're going to talk about other spelling changes that sometimes take place in the present tense. Let's start with weird CER and CIR verbs. We talked in our first video about CER verbs and CIR verbs like conocer that changed in the yo form only to a ZCO. There are just a couple verbs, 5 specifically, that I want you to be aware of, that do not follow that rule. They don't go ZCO. The C is simply going to change to a Z. We're going to lose the C altogether. This is once again only in the yo form, and there are only 5 verbs you have to worry about that do this. All right, on the screen you see them. Vencer, to conquer, to vanquish. The yo form is venzo. Okay, the C becomes a Z. Only the yo form you see in all the other forms, it's still a C. At the bottom of your screen, you see the other ones that do the exact same thing. Convencer, ejercer, to exercise. Stupid, worthless verb. Cocer, to cook. It's also a UE boot verb because why not? And torcer, to twist. Also a UE boot verb. So those are going to be UE in the boot, and the C is going to change to a Z in the yo form because Spanish. One of my favorite spelling changes in the present tense happens with GER and GIR verbs. By the way, you know you're a Spanish teacher when you have a favorite spelling change in the present tense. Well, you're either a Spanish teacher or you've got a problem. But in my case, it's both. So GER and GIR verbs, in the yo form, the G changes to a J. You remember we've got yogo verbs, where you grow a G randomly in the yo form. Well, these we're going to refer to as yo-ho verbs. They're the pirate verbs. Yo-ho-ho, me hearties. We've got an example once again on the screen in front of you, dearie here. And you see the G. You see in the first form, the yo form, it's dearie ho, and the G became a J. Yep, magic. So that's all that you got to worry about with these. And this happens to pretty much every GER and GIR verb, okay? The G will become a J in the yo form. Yo ho ho, and a Quizlet list of verbies, me hearties. Now, GUIR verbs are a little bit different. GUIR verbs, those are all yogo verbs. Okay, so if you see something ending in GUIR, yogo verb. You've already seen one, seguir, and you see many different versions of seguir at the bottom in this list. We've got seguir, perseguir, conseguir, proseguir, ay, seguir. But we also have distinguir, which is conjugated for you, and extinguir. Because yo-ho and yo-go. And finally, just a general warning, watch out for Spanish nastiness. As I pointed out before, cocer and torcer, they are CER, CIR verbs that change C to Z in the yo form, and they're boot verbs. Corregir and elegir are yo-ho verbs, and they're boot verbs. Seguir, perseguir, conseguir, proseguir, dear God, are yogo verbs and boot verbs. The same could be said for tener and venir. Tener and venir are both E to IE boot verbs, and they're yogo verbs. Oh, Spanish, why do you do this to us? That's it for this lesson. Please check Quizlet for these lists of verbs that have been mentioned today. I'm sure they'll be coming up on a quiz in the near future. Until next time, signing off, this is your Spanish teacher. Bye-bye.